When it comes to the potential, whether it's you were born with it or whether you weren't born the potential to be able to do something amazing, right? Talking about talent. Now, this great book is talking about this great book. Everybody have read this. Now, let's talk about fixed mindset and growth mindset, right? When it comes to, we believe that at an early age, right? So there's two mindsets that we have to see. An early age, we can, like the IQ test, right? Or the whole situation about IQ, if the IQ tests us on our ability, how smart we are, therefore we believe that. So it would seem as if that's a fixed mindset, while the other mindset is growth mindset, where that we believe that it doesn't really determine, it really doesn't determine how smart we are or how intelligent we are. It's just well, for me, it's just a piece of paper trying to measure how smart you are. So for those of you, I think I used to be a fixed mindset because I thought my ability to increase my intelligence, I'm not smart as Albert Einstein. I'm not stupid either. But here's the thing. I used to think that I couldn't do, I used to think that I wasn't smart enough because I was placed in, the special education, and it really limits you into thinking that maybe you are stupid, maybe you're not smart enough. You feel, I think I have inferior complex. Inferiority complex, I can't say that. But anyway, and therefore, it become a self-fulfilling prophecy if you actually understand that if you take a kid who is actually pretty smart, but you label it, you give it a name, and you say that's how smart you are, that kid will believe it with so much conviction. Therefore, he will act like that. His whole life, he will think that he have no reason to develop any skills. Now, our growth mindset is they know that they can become better. That's why in personal development, they know that your mind, it's about the brain and the mindset and the personal development, right? It's about growing you. That I truly understand now that it's better to have a growth mindset than a fixed mindset. Because fixed mindset don't believe that anything can be better. While a growth mindset know that things are a little bit, they're not good at what they are. Maybe they're good, but they know that they can be better. Growth mindset. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. So I'm gonna read you this. People in a growth mindset don't just seek a challenge, they thrive on it. The bigger the challenge, the more they stretch. And nowhere can it be seen more clearly than in the world of sport. You can just watch people stretch and grow. This is the same thing as pursuing a goal. Now, goals aren't there for you to obtain the accolades or the objects. And they may be the way you may accomplish or there to accumulate, but in actual truth, a goal is there to push your comfort zone, if you will. I mean, if you set a goal that's really low, right? Does it really get you out the comfort zone? Does it make you uncomfortable? Then if it doesn't make you uncomfortable, then it's basically you're not growing, right? Brian Tracy says that you got, in order to, well, I don't know if he said that, but in order to grow, you must get uncomfortable. You have to go out of your comfort zone. The good thing that you want, you have to go out the comfort zone, and you may make mistake. That's okay. The mistakes aren't there to stop you. They're there to make you move forward in life. Or failures aren't there to stop you. They're there to make you move forward in life. Bricks walls aren't there to stop you. They're there to make you go forward. Same thing. And then this one is very interesting. Next we ask, do you think this test measure how smart you are? They're asking, I think, the student. And do you think this test measure how smart you'll be when you grow up? I think they're... Student with growth mindset had taken our word and the test measure an important ability. But they didn't think it measured how smart they were. And they certainly don't think it would tell them how smart they'd be when they grew up. In fact, one of them told us, no way, ain't no test can do that. But the student with fixed mindset didn't simply believe the test could measure an important ability. They also believed just as strongly that it could be measured how smart they were and how smart they'll be when they grew up. They grant one test the power to measure their most basic intelligence, now and forever. They give this test the power to define them. That's why every success is so important. This leads us back to the idea of potential and to the question of whether tests or expert can tell us what our potential is, what we capable of, what our future will be. The fixed mindset say, yes, you can simply measure the fixed ability right now and project its future. Just give it the task or ask the expert. No crystal ball needed. So, I have a lot of people say a lot of things to me that I used to believe, right? They will say stuff like, that, this kid doesn't have the ability to do it. I don't know if I remember that, but still. I mean, adults are usually nice, but when you get older a little bit more, they say it as if it's true, they test it, But now I realize what they say, it doesn't really matter because when I get into it, that's why it's so good to read books. That's why it's so good to learn new things, because you get to find out who you actually are. You get to find out about your potential. Now, when people ask me why do I read books, okay, first of all, what do I read? I used to read. I'm gonna do a video. I used to read mangas. What mangas are? Japanese comic book. But I never read any complicated books like these books that give you insights, that give you knowledge, so you can apply or unlock your potential. Actually, these books are there so you can unlock your potential and grow, right? But it doesn't matter whether you read or just learn something new. Everybody used to believe that if you're in special ed, you have a low level of intelligence, right? I don't know. That's what I believe. And that makes me feel I have low self-esteem. But after I read all these books, I understand that no, the human brain is very magnificent if we truly understand how we can rewire our brain. And because the brain is malleable. Now, malleable mean, I forgot what it, I think it's, what was it? Adaptable. It can change. And the brain, it can change. It's not stagnant like we used to believe, right? We can build new brain cells. So we can rewire our way of thinking, which then in turn change our perception. Because when we change the way we input information, I believe that TV doesn't help us because for me, when I pursue a goal or a dream, for that matter, it is not in the pursuit that I happy. It is the challenges that I met with. Because if you think, for me, challenges, it's make me so uncomfortable that I was like, how am I going to do this? And how am I going to get through this? And then I figure a way to get there. That's if you compare it to fixed mindset. The fixed mindset probably say, no, I can't do that. No, my intelligence is fixed. I'm not smart enough, therefore they don't do. But the growth mindset is, they know that their intelligence is not fixed. Therefore, they can increase this, or they can go pursue their goals and dream. They know for a fact that they will fail. So that's my point today. But great book. I have not finished this book yet. I have so many books to go through, but this content that I'm giving you is for a purpose, for you to become aware that you can pull some, like most of my video I always say, you have the ability to be able to grow. Not grow in, not in, well, you can, after you hit a certain point of adult, you stop growing. But your mind always expand. Your brain, like, your mind always keep expanding and growing. And not, I mean, in brain cells and connections, you want, have, in your brain right now, what you must want is to have lots of connection, good information, knowledge, to be able to make it communicate, and not communicate, but still a lot of neurons and connection. It gives you ideas and knowledge and skills to be able to pursue the thing that you want. Anyway, that's what all I got. I will probably do a book review on that. It's a pretty good book. I highly recommend that you buy it. I wanted the hardcover, but since it was cheaper, I bought the paperback. So buy this book. It's a pretty good book if you want to understand the mind, the way how we see things are, and how we can change it. Because that's growth mindset. Growth mindset that you can change you, right? But the fixed mindset said you can't change you. That your intelligence is fixed. You can't change your intelligence because you were born with it, and that you have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Well, the growth mindset that no, I don't have to deal with that the rest of my life. I can change it. Exactly. Actually, you know what I was thinking about? I just thought about it right now. The fixed mindset is actually a victim, while the growth mindset is the creator. Because if you think about it, the person with the growth mindset will have more successful. They will become more successful, while the fixed mindset will stay stagnant, but they will never become successful to the degree that they want. While the growth mindset keep going and keep climbing and keep seeking that new invention. The fixed mindset will never change unless they see another way. I mean, unless the fixed mindset can see that they can change into a growth mindset and that they can change. If you have a fixed mindset, here's the thing. Your intelligence is not fixed. You may disagree with me, right? But how can you disagree with me if I was a special ed and I was put in the special ed, while everybody was in a regular class, and I had, they say I had a learning disability, but the way I see it now, I don't realize, I realize I don't even have a learning disability. It's just that I don't know why you even put me in the class in the first place. I don't get that one. I really should ask that one, the teacher, but I don't know if they know. But anyway, if you are in that mentality, then you can change. That's the growth mindset. And personal development is about growth mindset. That you have the ability to change you. You have the ability to change your intelligence. You have the ability. I mean, okay, maybe if you have, what's that called? Dyslexic, right? When we talk about dyslexic, Richard Branson, I think I don't know if he created, Virgin Group. He was dyslexic, but he taught himself to learn. He also read. He at first, I forgot, now he enjoyed reading. I can't remember. I read it in his book. Screw it, let's do it, right? So you got the ability to grow. There's not stopping you. When you understand how the brain works, then you unlock it. Unless you have Down syndrome. But then again, this message is for you to be able to become aware. Now, it's up to you to pursue the greater you, to pursue the best version of yourself. That's up to you. I can give you the content, and I can give you the awareness, if you will, about you. But it's up to you. You choose how you become better. subscribe to my channel, like my video, because I give you book reviews, personal development, and I give you content. Not only content, but I will try my best to give you stories of how, or challenges that I face sometimes. Because it's better, because I realize I want you to resonate with me, or to relate with me as well. Because if I just tell you all this and never tell you my challenges, you'll be like, what is this guy on? You know. But if I can relate to you, you understand more, right? Subscribe to my channel, like my video. I'll see you on the next.